Before Europe smelled like death, there was silence, a fragile silence stretched across the continent. Built upon trade, faith, and the illusion of permanence, the great cities of medieval Europe still breathed with confidence. Church bells echoed across crowded streets. Merchants moved endlessly through ports and marketplaces. Kings believed their kingdoms were eternal. The church believed its authority came directly from God. And ordinary people believed tomorrow would resemble today. But beneath this illusion of order, something ancient was already moving. Far beyond Europe, beyond the Mediterranean, beyond the reach of cathedral towers, a silent force traveled through the arteries of the world. The Mongol Empire had opened vast trade routes across Asia. Caravans crossed deserts carrying silk, silver, spices, and something far more devastating. Invisible passengers moved alongside merchants and soldiers, fleas feeding upon infected rats, a microscopic organism hidden within blood. Humanity did not yet possess the language to describe bacteria. It only understood suffering. In the 14th century, Europe had no concept of infection, no understanding of transmission, no defense against what was approaching. The disease traveled slowly at first, quietly, patiently, across ships, across grain, across cloth, across bodies. The ports of the Black Sea became the first witnesses. In 1347, merchant vessels arrived carrying more than cargo. Some ships entered harbor nearly empty. Their crews were already dead. The living were covered in fever, black swellings, and the smell of decay. People believed poison filled the air. Some believed God had abandoned humanity. Others believed the apocalypse had begun. But the plague did not arrive like an army. There were no banners, no battle formations, no warning horns, only coughing, only fever, only bodies disappearing behind locked doors. The first deaths seemed isolated, then entire households vanished, then entire streets fell silent. Doctors burned herbs and carried perfumes, believing pleasant smells could block death. Priests marched through cities carrying crosses. Parents abandoned children. Mass graves opened beneath churchyards, and Europe slowly began to understand that something impossible was happening. The plague did not care about wealth. It did not care about nobility. Kings, peasants, priests, merchants, all collapsed the same way. The illusion of civilization began to crack, and the smell of death spread across Europe like fog. Entire towns became silent archives. Homes remained open, meals untouched, candles still burning beside the dead. The living avoided eye contact. People stopped touching one another. Even prayer began to sound empty. The church could not explain the suffering. Physicians could not stop it. The kings could not control it. Humanity stood defenseless before an invisible force. And for the first time in centuries, Europe looked directly into the possibility that civilization itself could disappear. The Black Death was not merely a disease. It was the collapse of certainty. It was the collapse of faith in order. The collapse of the belief that God, kings, or knowledge could protect humanity from extinction. Soon, Europe would descend into paranoia, religious hysteria, and psychological collapse. But before the madness came, there was only fear. Fear spreading silently through fog-covered streets. Fear moving through candlelit cathedrals. Fear carried across every road, port, and graveyard in Europe. And the continent had only just begun to die.